Hello, welcome to Native Yoga Center. My name is Todd McLaughlin, and today we focus on the Rechaka and Puraka Kumbhaka. What that means is exhale and inhale retention of the breath. This is working off of pranayama, a breathing technique. Prana, life force; ayama, restraint or control of the breath. So this is a classic yoga pranayama or pranayama technique. And so in breathing practice, there's what is called a ratio. Like a 1-to-1 ratio implies inhaling for 1 second and exhaling for 1 second. So then if we were to inhale for 6, we would exhale for 6. And that's a 1-to-1 ratio. So when we're practicing breath retention work, what we're going to do is the exhale retention, meaning the breath that we hold after we exhale our air will be slightly shorter than the retention that we'll take after we inhale and hold. That will be just a little bit longer. So this ratio is called a 4-to-5 ratio. In other words, if we breathe in and we breathe out and we hold the exhale retention for 4, that when we breathe in and we do an inhale retention, we'll hold it for 5. And that ratio then just could be expounded further out. So maybe like an 8-second exhale hold to a 10-second inhale hold. As a beginner, if you're new to pranayama, it is really a good idea to learn with a person beside you. Much like when you are learning free diving, it's a rule of thumb is you never go diving down deep underwater holding your breath without having a buddy system. The buddy is with you. If you were to have a problem, you black out, you'd be brought up to the surface by your buddy. Now, the good news is you're above ground, and there is no way, we are nowhere coming close to holding the breath long enough that you'll have any trouble. So I'm approaching, explaining, and teaching you this by taking a very simple holding pattern. All right, we have that covered. The other thing that is going to be happening is you're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So for this exercise, the mouth is closed. Mouth does not open. We're using a technique on the inhale and the exhale called Ujjayi breathing. Ujjayi means victory or victorious. So victorious breath is the breathing with sound. And what happens here is you constrict the back of the throat, which is, there's a little flap there called the epiglottis. And when you drink water, the epiglottis closes your windpipe, so water doesn't go in. So when you're breathing, the epiglottis is open. There's the ability to constrict or to squeeze the epiglottis, much like if you have a straw and you pinch the top of the straw or the middle of the straw, it's harder to get water or liquid to go through the straw. Same way, when you're breathing, one way you're able to control the movement of the airflow is through this gentle constriction of the epiglottis. So what happens is that when you breathe, you can hear that sound. So that sound is not coming through the mouth open, going. A lot of people, when they hear Ujjayi, they immediately want to open their mouth and make the ha breath, but that's not what you do. You keep your mouth closed. Now, I know this can be a little tricky to learn, so let me explain it. Imagine you have a mirror and you want to fog the mirror. So you breathe in normal. When you go to exhale, you open the mouth and you. So like if you're fogging a mirror, you make a ha sound. So then the next thing to try, once you are able to ha sound, you breathe in as you start the with the mouth open. Midway through the exhalation, close your mouth, but continue to make the ha sound. So it'll be like, this is my mirror, I'm using my hand as my mirror. I'm inhaling normal. I'm going to open my mouth, make a, close the mouth. Try it again, inhale. Okay, we're going to go. That's the Ujjayi. It's, once you learn it, it's not hard. Learning it can be a little tricky. So Focus on the exhale part first. That'll be easiest. Breathing in through the nose with the epiglottis closed or constricted that's usually where people have the harder time figuring that part out. So when you inhale, you're just basically creating a little valve there closing. Good. And that's how you're able to control the speed of the breath. All right. So we have that down. We have the Ujjayi, the technique of the Ujjayi in the breaths in between. Now, what's going to happen is we are starting off with 3 regular Ujjayi. I'm going to lead you through the whole practice. So I want to lay down the technique though first so you know what you're going to do. And then when we go through the practice, you're going to be able to practice it. So we're going to be inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose, 1. We're going to inhale through the nose. We're going to exhale through the nose. That's 2. We're going to inhale through the nose. We're going to exhale the nose. That's 3. Then we're going to inhale through the nose. We're going to exhale out through the nose. And we're going to hold the breath for about 4 seconds. And then we're going to inhale through the nose. That was 1. We're going to exhale out of the nose, and we're going to hold the breath at the end of your exhalation for 2 and 4 seconds. And then we're going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. We're going to hold the breath for 4 seconds a 3rd time. Okay, so now at that point, we've completed what is called the Rechaka Kumbhaka. The Rechaka, exhale. Kumbhaka references a pot or a clay vessel, or a vessel, a pot, a water pitcher, anything that holds something. So the Kumbhaka references you're going to be holding. And so in this case, not breathing. All right. So now we are going to follow it with 3 inhale retentions called Puraka Kumbhaka. Puraka, inhale, Kumbhaka, a pot or a holding vessel. So then we're going to inhale through the nose. We're going to hold the breath, and we're going to hold the breath for 5 seconds. We'll exhale. That was 1. We're going to inhale. We're going to hold the breath for 5 seconds. That's 2. We're going to exhale. We'll go for the last one. We're going to inhale. We're going to hold the breath, and then we're going to exhale. And we completed those 3 retentions. So we're going to do 3 prep breaths or 3 clearing breaths. We're going to do 3 exhale retentions. Then we're going to do 3 inhale retentions. And then we're going to follow up with 3 regular breaths, 3 Ujjayi, breathing with sound breaths. And so we'll learn this first pranayama technique and why practice pranayama. It can help to calm the mind, create a space of stillness when you're holding your breath. That really enhances meditation. It also is good for us to move out of the fight or flight mode and into the rest and repair mode. So we're working with our nervous system. It can help improve the elasticity of the lungs. It can help improve the tone, the ability to take full deep breaths and utilize our entire breathing capacity. There's a whole host of different benefits that come from breath practice. All right, I think we're ready. So now let me lead you through, and what I'm going to do is I am going to verbally coach you. So I'm going to tell you what to do at every single step. I'm also going to employ hand signals. Now the hand signals, let me show you what they look like. When you're inhaling, you're going to see my hand moving up. When we exhale, you're going to see my hand moving down. The down will be the exhale. The up is going to be the inhale. Now, there's a much larger discussion we can have about what do I do when I'm holding my breath and I'm just sitting there with nothing to do, with absolute quiet and stillness. 1, just enjoy it. 2, if you panic, just breathe. If you have any history of mental health challenge, then please, if you feel strain or you feel in any way uncomfortable or any way it actually creates anxiety for you, don't hold your breath, just breathe. It's very important. Okay, and so there's Bandha. This is a long discussion. I'm going to make it very short and sweet, and I'll expound this discussion in a later aside on another video coming soon. So 3 main bandhas: Mula bandha at the root, at the pelvic floor; Uddiyana bandha around about navel, just below, drawing in; and Jalandhara bandha, a chin lock, where we attempt to bring the chin down into what's called the sternoclavicular notch. All right. So really briefly, when we exhale, I'm going to make a fist at the bottom, and that implies engage your pelvic floor muscles. If you've never done that before, it is basically, you have done it, you just don't know it. It's kind of like if you have a full bladder and you have to hold, it's kind of like trying to squeeze, like you're trying to hold, like there's like you got to hold it. And then when you inhale, the Jalandhara bandha at the top, you're going to see me do a little hand flip. I'm just going to take my hand and kind of flip it this way. That's referencing taking your chin and putting it down into your throat. And there's a reason for this. It helps to balance intracranial pressure due to the fact that we're doing some strong kind of retention work. But I will expound deeper on that later. I feel like as a beginner, it will just go over your head anyway. But I wanted to give you the idea, and then we will build this idea as you build your practice. All right, here we go. Exhale your air. 3 regular Ujjayi. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Third one, ready? Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we're officially beginning the Rechaka Kumbhaka. So we're going to inhale, breathe for about 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, breathe. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. When you get to the bottom, hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, breathe through your nose. Last one, exhale. When you get to the bottom, hold your breath for about 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, inhale. We're beginning the Puraka Kumbhaka, the inhale retention. Breathe all the way in. When you get to the top, tuck your chin to your throat. Hold your breath for about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, breathe all the air out. Let's do it again. Inhale, breathe through your nose. Hold your breath. Exhale, breathe. That was 2. One more. Inhale, breathe. Hold your breath. And exhale, breathe. Good. 3 regular Ujjayi. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Well done. And that is the Rechaka Puraka Kumbhaka, the first exercise in a series of 6 pranayams that are practiced in a pranayam routine that is taught in the Ashtanga Yoga lineage. I learned this from two of my teachers. My main teacher, Tim Miller, who is a direct student of Patabi Joyce, whom he learned this technique from. I also practiced and learned this with Ralph Nausicaut, who learned it from Tim Miller, who the late Ralph, who has since passed and is an amazing yoga practitioner teacher. And so this is a specific routine coming from the Ashtanga yoga lineage. And my goal and intent, my intention to convey this information to you in a user-friendly, beginner-friendly fashion at a very slow, gradual, steady pace. I will continue to make videos to map out this entire practice, and I will make a video that then will include all of the practices together in one full routine that you can follow. But it's important that you learn it yourself so that you practice at a speed that is appropriate for you. If you have any negative effects, stop the practice, consult with a pranayama practitioner for advice. Reach out to me, I'll be happy to communicate. And if you have positive results, congratulations, well done, enjoy it. All right, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, send me a note, find us at nativeyogacenter.com. And there's a whole bunch of different ways you can interact with us online. I hope this helps. And if you're a pranayama pro and you love it, yay, welcome, let's practice together. And if you're brand new, get ready. It's an amazing journey. All right, have a great day. Namaste.